to After Dark, Episode 4. You're safe here, you're wanted here, and tonight, you're not walking home. The Chauffeur's Secret, an ASMR whisper roleplay. The rain had just stopped when the car pulled up, sleek, black, quiet, like it didn't roll up to the curb. It glided. You weren't expecting it, but it was waiting for you. You paused at the passenger door, hesitating. The window rolled down. Need a lift? The voice, smooth as midnight, low, warm, like the inside of a secret. You blinked. Are you yours for the night? He interrupted, unlocking the door with a click. You climbed into the back. The leather felt expensive. Cold at first, then comforting. Your robe had clung a little to your thighs in the humidity. Now the cool air kissed your skin through the fabric. Where are we going? You asked, adjusting the belt. He looked at you in the rear-view mirror, eyes dark, focused, the kind that see too much. I was hoping you'd tell me. You sink into the seat. Watch the streetlights flicker by in golden rhythm. The ride is quiet, at first, but then he speaks again. You seem tense. You raise an eyebrow. You always this forward with your passengers. Only the ones who look like they could use a little control being taken away. You smirk, and what gives you that impression? He taps the glass between you. It's halfway down, open, vulnerable, like he wants to be close. You haven't stopped crossing and uncrossing your legs since you got in. You glance down, busted. He turns the corner slowly. The city lights blur outside the window. You know, he murmurs, in the back of a car like this, most people fall asleep. You scoff lightly. Do I look like I'm about to fall asleep? He laughs once, deep, quick. No, baby, you look wide awake. You lean forward slightly, arms draped over the center console. I bet you see a lot back here, you whisper. He shrugs. I see what people want to show me. Do I look like someone hiding something? He meets your gaze in the mirror again. No, you look like someone waiting for permission. Your lips part slightly. You don't say anything. He turns the volume down. Now it's just the sound of your breathing and the wheels sliding wet over the road. You comfortable? He asks. You nod. Too comfortable. That's how it starts, he says softly. How what starts? Fantasy. You lean back in your seat, eyes half closed. Tell me something, you whisper. What's the wildest thing that's ever happened in this car? He smirks. You mean before tonight? The windows are tinted. The city fades. Now it's just street lights flickering across your skin. He hasn't touched you, but every word he says feels like fingertips trailing your thighs. You lean a little closer to the center console. You didn't answer my question, you say. He raises a brow in the mirror. What's the wildest thing that's ever happened in this car? He shifts in his seat. I once picked someone up from a gallery event. Beautiful. Quiet. Like you. He turns down a side street. Slower now. They sat exactly where you're sitting. Your breath catches. You wet your lips. And what did you do? You whisper. He smirks. Only what they begged me for. The silence thickens. You tug gently at the robe wrapped around you, letting it slip off one shoulder. He notices. You know he does. Is that what you want? He murmurs. You tilt your head. Is it what you'd give? He pulls into a covered parking structure. The lights inside are dim, private, quiet. The car stops, engine still humming, windows fogging just slightly, and then he turns to you, fully. His hand reaches over the seat, moving slowly. Fingertips graze your knee, not demanding, just asking. You could say no, he says softly. I won't. Say stop. I can't. Say please. You smile. opens the driver's side door and climbs into the back. His movements are smooth, like he's done this before, but not with just anyone. Now you're face to face, close, breath mingling, tension vibrating through the small space. His knees slide between yours, hands planted on either side of your legs, still not touching, but his presence alone makes you burn. You ever been touched in silence? He asks. What do you mean? No words, just sound, just breath, just... He lifts one hand and gently brushes your hair behind your ear. Just this. His fingers trail along your jawline, down your neck. They pause at the knot of your robe. He waits. You nod. He unties it. Slow, like he's unwrapping something he's fantasized about for days. You inhale. Deep. Unsteady. You don't want to think. You just want to feel. You've needed someone who takes their time, who listens to the body, not the mouth, who doesn't ask twice once they already know the answer. He leans in, presses a kiss to your collarbone, then another, lower. One hand on your waist now, the other trailing along your exposed skin. His touch is deliberate, confident, but never rushed. You're not what I expected, you whisper. He pulls back slightly, eyes meeting yours. And you're exactly what I wanted. You shift your hips. The robe opens just enough to expose more thigh. You feel the heat pulse between your legs as he watches you move. He presses his forehead to yours, breathing you in. Do you know how long I've waited to have you like this? He whispers. Your voice trembles, but you smile. Maybe. He lifts your hand, places it over his chest. His heartbeat is fast, real. He's not playing cool anymore. He's in it, just like you. I want you to tell me if it gets too much, he says. You nod, but right now, you whisper. He leans in closer, lips brushing yours. Right now, I want more. You press your lips to his, soft, slow, but hungry underneath. He kisses you back like he's unlocking something. Like he's waited every night to taste the way you tremble under pressure. This isn't about taking. It's about sharing. About permission, pace, power. And the fact that this car, this tiny space between stoplights and city streets, is now its own world. You don't care where he's taking you. You just know you're not ready to get out. You're still wrapped in him. Back pressed to the seat, his body close. His breath even closer. Your robe's fallen open now, exposing more than just skin. It exposes desire, craving, the part of you that's done pretending this is just a ride. He's watching you carefully, not just admiring. You feel like he's reading you, like he's memorizing the way your body shifts when he gets closer, when his voice drops, when he says your name like it belongs to him. I've never done this before, you whisper. In a car, he teases. In a moment like this. His lips curl. Me neither. He leans in again, but this time, he doesn't kiss you, he just hovers. Close enough that you feel the air leave his lungs. Close enough that you want to scream for him to close the gap. And finally, he does. His mouth brushes yours, not rushed, not eager. Just present. It's slow, careful, but each second builds a pressure between your thighs that makes you shift, almost involuntarily. He notices. He smiles. You're sensitive. You nod. I like that. His hand slides up your thigh. Not possessive, just confident. Fingertips grazing your skin, like he's testing how much you'll let him have. You don't stop him. He leans into your neck. You tilt your head without thinking. Your body is answering before your mouth can. Let me take my time with you, he whispers. You whisper back. I was hoping you would. He moves slowly. His lips leave heat wherever they touch. Your jaw, your collarbone, just below it. Every every kiss feels like he's asking, and every sigh you give is your way of saying yes. You run your fingers through his hair, guide him gently. You feel his breath hitch as you touch the back of his neck. You're both buzzing now. No music, no headlights, no destination, just sensation. Eventually, you're laying fully across the back seat, your head resting where you were sitting just moments ago, your legs tangled with his. You've never felt more exposed and yet more safe. He runs his hand over your hip. You're beautiful, he says. You open your eyes and smile softly. So are you. He laughs. No one's ever said that to me before. You reach for his chin, guiding his gaze back to yours. Well, you've clearly been driving the wrong passengers. He chuckles, but you see the truth in his eyes. No one's made him feel like this before either. This isn't just lust. It's intimacy, tension, playfulness, care, wrapped in silk and leather and a midnight sky. You're going to ruin me, he murmurs. You grin, then don't let me out. Eventually, when your bodies are still, but the heat remains, you curl into his chest, his arms stay around you, his breath slows. I could fall asleep right here, you whisper. Do it, he says. I'll keep watch. You rest for a while, not asleep, not entirely awake, just in that floating space where everything feels soft, real, earned, and when it's finally time, he helps you fix your robe, brushes your hair from your face, kisses your forehead like you're something precious, because you are. He opens the door for you. You step out slowly, legs still a little shaky. He watches you walk up to your door, doesn't rush you, doesn't follow, just watches. When you turn around, he's still standing there, one hand on the car, the other over his heart. He lifts his